On a quiet evening in a small suburban community, life appeared perfectly ordinary. The kind of night filled with simple routines. Dinner being prepared, children's laughter spilling into the street, and neighbors exchanging nods as they passed. Hours earlier, the father had been seen at the grill, the aroma of smoke drifting across neatly trimmed lawns. Inside, his wife was setting the table with plates and glasses. There, two children darted through the yard, chasing one another until the sun dipped low. Nothing about that night seemed unusual. No arguments, no strangers, just calm, everyday life until it wasn't. By the next morning, subtle ripples of concern began to spread. The father, known for being dependable and punctual, failed to show up for work. Colleagues tried calling, but their phones rang endlessly. Growing uneasy, a coworker drove to the family home. The car sat motionless in the driveway. Lights inside still glowed, but no one answered the door. Something felt wrong. Police were called later that afternoon. Officers entered the house expecting a simple explanation. What they found instead was unsettling. Dinner remained untouched on the table, glasses half full, plates set as though the meal had only just begun. The television buzzed in the living room, flickering shadows across the walls. Chairs were slightly pulled back, as if people had risen quickly and never returned. Yet the home was silent. The family had disappeared. Detectives searched each room carefully. Children's toys were left scattered on the carpet. Laundry sat half-folded in a basket near the stairs. The father's keys and wallet lay on the counter. The mother's purse was untouched by the door. Nothing indicated a rushed departure. Nothing pointed to violence. It was as though the family had been erased mid-routine. The neighborhood buzzed with speculation. Journalists crowded outside, recording every whisper. Some neighbors swore they heard a vehicle idling late into the night, lingering longer than seemed normal. Others claimed they noticed unfamiliar figures moving near the house during the early hours. None of the accounts led anywhere solid, but the unease spread quickly. Theories piled up. Some suggested the family had been lured away by someone they trusted, someone who didn't need to force their way inside. Others believed the disappearance was deliberate, a planned vanishing act. But those explanations clashed with the facts. Why abandon dinner half-eaten? Why leave behind wallets, phones, the car? Then came the darker possibilities. Whispers of cult activity began to surface. Locals spoke of strange gatherings deep in the nearby woods, fires burning at odd hours, and rumors of secret rituals. Could the family have been drawn into something sinister? Others pointed to more shadowy forces. Government relocation programs sometimes remove entire families overnight, new names and new lives replacing their old ones. But no official records connected this family to anything of the sort. And for the more superstitious, the explanations defied reality. Paranormal investigators noted that the property was built on land rumored to have a grim history. Old graves left unmarked, tales of people who had vanished decades earlier. They believed the family's fate was tied to something beyond explanation, a force that swallowed them whole. Despite extensive investigations, nothing ever surfaced. No ransom demands, no confirmed sightings, no remains. The trail went cold, and eventually the case was filed away, unsolved. The house did not remain empty forever. New owners eventually moved in, repainting walls and replacing old furniture, trying to push away the heavy history. Yet the shadows lingered. Neighbors whispered about flickering lights, footsteps where no one walked, and figures moving in the windows long after the family inside had gone to bed. What makes this mystery especially terrifying is not just the absence of answers, but the silence left behind. A family once full of laughter, and everyday life simply ceased to exist. No closure for friends. No justice for neighbors who still glance uneasily toward the house. Only an echo of what once was, and endless theories about what might have happened. Was an escape carefully planned? A crime flawlessly executed? Or something darker, something that resists all explanation? To this day, the truth has never surfaced. and perhaps it never will.